everybody. Welcome to 2 Minutes and Beyond, the podcast where we review the Toy Story movies 2 minutes at a time. I'm Macy Ball, and this is Bianca Garcia.
Hello.
Hello. In this episode, we're talking about minutes 51 and 52 of Toy Story.
I'm very excited for this. This is like one of my most favorite scenes.
Just a couple of the best minutes in the movie.
Yes, for sure.
Are you ready to start?
I am.
Okay. At the beginning of this clip, Hannah comes out of her room saying, "What is it, Mom?" while Woody hides next to the door in a pile of Christmas lights. As soon as she's gone, Woody runs over to Buzz and says, "Buzz, hey Buzz, are you okay?" Buzz yells, "Gone!" and sort of drunkenly says, "It's all gone. All of it's gone. Bye-bye. Woo, see ya." Concerned, Woody asks, "What happened to you?" Buzz says, "1 minute you're defending the whole galaxy, and suddenly you find yourself sucking down Darjeeling with Marie Antoinette and her little sister." Hannah's two headless dolls wave at Woody. Woody picks up Buzz's arm and helps Buzz up, saying, "I think you've had enough tea for today. Let's get you out of here, Buzz." Buzz suddenly gets angry and yells, "Don't you get it? You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit." It starts laughing like he's gone insane. Woody yells, "Snap out of it, Buzz." And he opens Buzz's helmet and slaps him with his own arm.
I love that Woody uses Buzz's own arm to slap him.
Do you know where the idea from that for that came from?
Oh, I don't. Please tell me.
In the audio commentary, they talked about how it was actually inspired by the movie Commando, because apparently there's a behind the scenes story about how because in the movie someone's arm was like cut off with a machete, and behind the scenes Arnold Schwarzenegger asked the director if he could use like the fake arm, like the guy's like cut off arm, to slap him with his own arm in his face. But they didn't end up doing that because the director thought that was going too far. But I guess the guys at Pixar had heard that story and they wanted to incorporate it into their movie.
That's pretty fantastic. And I'm pretty sure like once Arnold Schwarzenegger saw that, he was like, "That was my idea."
You think Arnold was sitting in the theater watching Toy Story?
You know, I would not be surprised if he was.
That's a funny image.
It is, honestly, yeah. I also like that Buzz's head just squeaks. He's just got a squeaky little head.
His head squeaks again, just like in the fight scene earlier.
Yes, it's great. I love that, and it should have stayed with all the movies, but sadly it didn't.
It doesn't happen again in any of the movies, does it? I don't think
so. I think it was just the first movie.
Yeah. There's a lot in this section that I didn't understand as a kid. I mean, I thought it was funny, but I was like, one, the Marie Antoinette joke went totally over my head.
Oh, yeah.
And also I didn't understand why Buzz was acting the way he was. And I still don't really, because it's like he was pretending to drink imaginary tea, and that somehow made him drunk.
Drinking his sorrows away with imaginary tea with Marie Antoinette and her little sister.
I don't know how at the beginning Woody manages to fit inside those Christmas lights. Because like I'm looking at it now.
It's not too many. It's not like a huge pile of it. But apparently he fits. If he fits, he sits.
I mean, I think there was some cheating going on with it right now. Because I'm looking at it right now. And like it looks like just his head would really fit in there.
Right. I feel like they did a whole lot of cropping of Woody's body to get him to fit in those lights. Because I really don't think like the actual model would have fit in those lights.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is another one of the things that we have to add to the letter that we're going to send with all of our questions.
Mm-hmm. Tim Allen's performance here reminds me a lot of his performance in the Santa Claus 2, where he plays the evil plastic Santa who, funnily enough, is also a toy. He's just like a completely deranged evil version of Santa who wants to give all of the kids coal.
I've never seen any of the Santa Claus movies, so I really need to watch it now because that sounds like something so messed up that I have to see it now.
I mean, they're not really that good. Well, the third one is not, in my opinion, is not worth watching at all. But the first two are okay. I mean, I feel like I like them mostly for nostalgia reasons.
Right, yeah. Because there's some movies that I like too, and I've rewatched them and I'm like, oh, these have not aged well. But I still
Hmm.
love them because I remember watching them as a kid.
Yeah, but Buzz just sounds deranged.
I also never knew as a kid what the heck Darjeeling was
Yes.
until much later when I actually started drinking tea for myself, and I was like, really?
Yeah, that was another thing I didn't understand either. I just like the way he says that line too. He says, "Sucking down Darjeeling."
I love how just angry he sounds at it too. Like he's not satisfied with the Darjeeling.
He's just like staring into the cup, which those cups must be tiny, by the way, to be like, because they're to compared to Buzz, they're like a normal size cup, but because he can hold them normally in his hand,
Right, yeah. I feel like they may be
like a doll tea set.
yeah, like a doll tea set, like a Barbie teacup, if not Barbie, just like a small standard, doll cup.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are we ready to move on?
I think so.
Okay. At 42 seconds, Buzz takes his arm from Woody and walks into the hallway, saying, "I'm sorry, you're right. I'm just a little depressed, that's all. I can get through this." And suddenly he drops down to his knees, crying, "Oh, I'm a sham. Look at me. I can't even fly out the window." But Woody tries to shush him while he continues to ramble on, but gets an idea when Buzz mentions the window. He looks over into Sid's room and sees the window and says, "Out the window? Buzz, you're a genius." He picks up the Christmas lights and says, "Come on, this way," and drags Buzz into Sid's room while Buzz cries, "Years of academy training wasted."
Oh my gosh, I love how dramatic Buzz is. And another thing that I say whenever something bad happens, I'm just like, "Oh, I'm a sham."
Also, the way he's just like, 1 second, he's like, I can, what does he say? Yeah, you're right. I'm just a little depressed. I can get through this. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I'm
And
a
then he breaks down
sham."
again.
Relatable.
Oh my god, that's very relatable. I feel like I'm going to be like that too coming up with these upcoming semesters.
Oh gosh. But yeah, there's a reason that the years of academy training wasted has become a meme because it's
Yes,
so funny.
it's hilarious. I love it.
I think it's especially funny too because, Buzz, despite the fact that he's delusional, he's been the one who's like calm and put together,
Yeah,
and
and
Woody's the one who freaks out about everything.
and he's finally just at his mental capacity, so he has a mental breakdown.
I mean, I can't really blame him though when you find out you thought you were a space ranger this whole time and you find out you're actually just a little plastic toy.
Yeah, I feel like that would really crush anybody's spirit.
Yeah. When he's like, "Does the hat look good? Tell me the hat
Tell me the
looks
hat
good."
looks good.
The apron is a bit much.
I like that. I still, I think I said it in the past episode, but I like that the hat's on his helmet and not
Instead of his
actually on,
actual head.
yes, actually on his head.
Yeah.
That was a fun design choice of the team
Mm-hmm.
and of Hannah.
Maybe she didn't know that you could open his helmet.
Oh, maybe. That is a possibility.
Yeah. I feel this is kind of going back where we already passed this already, but I feel bad for Hannah's headless dolls. Also, the mutant toys put Sally and the pterodactyl back together. Why don't they put like her two, Marie Antoinette and her little sister and the
True.
teddy bear? Why didn't they
Yeah.
put them back together?
I don't know. Maybe once they got to Hannah's room, they're like, oh, well.
Maybe their heads were like lost or just destroyed or something.
Maybe Scud got a hold of the heads, so they didn't really have a choice. So they're like, oh, well, you're headless now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm bringing this up again, but I absolutely hate Hannah's bed sheets. They
Yeah,
honestly look like the little paper streamers that you get from like the dollar store or the grocery store just to hang. And they're kind of like scrunchy like that. Her sheets look scrunchy. I feel like she makes so much noise at night just tossing and turning on scrunchy bed sheets.
they look like decorative paper tablecloths or napkins.
Yeah. I mean, the family can't be that poor. Come on. I feel like they probably don't make enough money. Like maybe they're a lower class family. And that's
Maybe.
why Sid's the way he is. And Hannah's just got headless toys. And she's got scrunchy bed sheets because they don't have enough money to afford actual bed sheets for their poor child.
Oh gosh. Poor Hannah.
I know, I feel bad for her because she seems like the only decent child in the entire family. She seems like the only decent person.
I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, but I guess I'll mention it again. Um, when Woody looks like over into Sid's room, as Buzz is talking about flying out the window, and he sees Sid's window, and then through that window you can see Andy's window, and you can even see just barely like the cloud wallpaper.
Oh, that's right. You did mention that. I, again, did not look for that. I told myself the next time I watch the clip to pay attention for that. And did I? No, I did not.
I mean, it makes sense that it would be there. I just like that little detail.
Yeah, that they detailed it that much and didn't just make it like a reflection on the window or something. They actually put it to where you could see inside the house.
Mhm. All right, well, moving on. At 1 minute 10 seconds, we cut to Andy's room where Mr. Potato Head and Ham are playing Battleship. Potato Head says B3. Ham, who is wearing Potato Head's bowler hat, says Miss G6. Potato Head says, "Oh, you suck it. Are you peeking?" And Ham responds, "Oh, quit your whining and pay up." And Mr. Potato Head starts to pull his ear out, but Ham says, "No, no, not the ear. Give me the nose. Come on." Potato Head pulls his nose out instead and says, "I gotta do this with my nose pinched." He says, "How about 3 out of 5?" If you look at the game of Battleship that they're playing, this is one of my favorite details in this movie. Potato Head has selected like all of the spots except where Ham's ships are. And then
Yeah.
he's grouped all of his ships into one little clump.
He doesn't know how to play the game, obviously.
I'm like, in the next clip, he says, "Have you all did you all take stupid pills this morning?" And I'm like, I think maybe
He's
you
the
took
one.
some stupid pills. Oh
Oh
gosh.
my gosh. And that's very like on point and very on character for Mr. Potato Head.
I feel like he's the kind of guy who thinks he's, like, very smart, and he thinks he knows everything, and he acts like he knows everything, but in reality, he's not exactly the brightest person.
Which there's a lot of people like that in the world today.
I mean, I'm like that sometimes, to be frank.
I think everybody is, because I've done that too, where I'm like, I know what I'm doing. You don't have to tell me. And then it just all blows up in my face. I'm like, why'd I have to open my mouth?
I like that they're playing some form of strip Battleship.
I know. I was about to say that because, yeah, you can do that with Mr. Potato Head, but how do you do it with Ham? He's just got his little cork. Does he just take his cork out and take out change each time?
Well, that's what I was wondering. I was thinking maybe he gives them coins or something, but then what does Potato Head do with the coins?
Exactly. He
He
doesn't.
he can't go to the store and spend money.
Exactly. I was going to say he doesn't have a need for the money because he's a toy. He doesn't need to go buy anything. And, come to think of it, like, I was going to say, why does Ham need the money? But he's the piggy bank.
Well,
He
Ham doesn't
literally
get the
holds
money.
the
He
money.
gets Potato Head's. Yeah, well, I mean, it's Andy's money. But with Ham wearing Mr. Potato Head's bowler hat is kind of foreshadowing, I guess, to evil Dr. Porkchop.
Yeah. I like that. It fits him perfectly. Like, it
Yeah.
just sits so well in his little piggy head.
I would like to know if they had to, if when Ham wears it, if they had to have a different model for that to make it fit on his head, or if it's the same, like the exact same model.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
It looks like it could be the same.
Yeah, it looks like it sits pretty well. The only thing is maybe, like at a certain angle, maybe the hat would cut into Ham a little bit just because of it sitting on there, and then his little body just kind of rounds
Well, I
right
think
behind his
that's why
head.
he wears it. He wears it over
Kind
one
of,
of his ears, like on the side.
yeah, that's probably why they did that. I don't know.
Hmm.
Who knows? Yet another question to send.
So many questions.
I have plenty of questions.
Moving on, at 1 minute 23 seconds, Woody opens Sid's bedroom window and yells, "Hey guys, guys!" Ham and Mr. Potato Head look shocked to see him. Potato Head says, "Son of a building block, it's Woody." And Ham says, "He's in the psycho's bedroom." Ham yells, "Everyone, it's Woody." And Bo, Slinky, and Rex come over to the window to see. Woody says, "We're going to get out of here, Buzz." Buzz? And then he looks over to see Buzz sitting on the floor playing with his detached arm like it's a spaceship and pretending to crash it into the ground. His attention is brought back to Andy's window when Rex says, "Hey, look," and Bo exclaims, "Woody!" He waves and says, "Oh boy, am I glad to see you guys." Slinky says, "I knew you'd come back, Woody," and Bo asks, "What are you doing over there?" Woody answers, "It's a long story, Bo. I'll explain later." And he says, "Here, catch this." And he throws one end of the string of Christmas lights. Slinky catches it and says, "I got it, Woody." And Rex repeats, "He got it, Woody." Woody says, "Good going, Slink." And then that's where the clip ends.
I like how Buzz, who didn't think he was a toy, starts playing with his arm like a toy.
Mm-hmm. A toy playing with a toy.
Toyception.
I love all of like the toyisms that pop up throughout all the movies, and including "son of a building block."
Yes.
It reminds me of Toy Story 4 when Woody says "shoots and ladders."
Yeah. I like how they use that just because you would think like somewhere along the line they've heard a swear word, but they make it, I don't know, either personalized to them or because their toys are like, we got to keep it G rated. So
Woody
I don't know.
strikes me as the type of person who wouldn't swear around other people, but he would swear like in private.
Yeah, because like at the beginning of the movie, he says the word I'm searching for. I can't say because there's preschool toys present.
Yeah. Um, but maybe that's why he says things like shoots and ladders instead.
Maybe. You know what? I bet you anything. Woody is like one of the most foul-mouthed toys.
I think in the comic books he says, what does he say? He says shoot my pistols.
Shoot my pistols. That one sounds a little more like it would be used as like a bad word, but
Yeah. Well, it
I
has
don't
the
know.
word shoot in it,
Yeah.
which I guess shoots and ladders does too, but it's different
It's a different
different kind of
wording or
shoot.
different spelling, yeah.
Yeah, and it's more that one shoot my pistols is more of a cowboy thing, I feel like, than a toy thing.
Yeah, that's more of like his signature, like something that he might say with his pull string.
Mhm.
Also, I didn't think those lights were that long. I really feel like those lights should have been maybe like halfway and they would have just fallen because when he's carrying them, it doesn't look like
They
there's
don't look like.
many.
Yeah.
And then when he tosses them, it's like 10 miles long. I'm like, what the heck?
I don't know why, but that sort of mental picture of, Woody on in one house on the other side looking through the window, and then the other toys in the other house on the other side, and then, like, the string of Christmas lights between them is something that, like, always, I don't know, I guess it kinda made an impression on me for some reason because I had, like, similar, sort of similar mental pictures, like, show up in my, like, dreams occasionally as a kid.
hmm
I don't know.
I remember being at the theaters and this scene, I was so distressed. And my mom saw the distress in my face and she was like, don't worry, Woody's gonna get back home. And I just looked
Aw.
at her and I was like, you've seen this movie? And my mom was just like, no. I didn't understand the concept of it being a stereotypical plot
Like
that at
how
the end.
narrative works.
Yes, I did not understand that at 5 years old. So I was just, and I said it really loud too in the theater.
That's funny. I think I remember you talking about that somewhere before.
Yeah, I think I made a post of it on Tumblr because I remembered it and I was like, I was such a dumb little kid. But
That's
most
so
five
sweet
year
though.
olds
You
don't
were
understand that concept.
that's really sweet that you were worried about Woody though.
Yes, I was very distressed. I had him right next to me and I was all like holding him to the point where his head was going to fall off. And my mom was like, calm down. Oh my God.
Oh, the way they all get so excited, or at least like Slinky and Rex and Bo, the way they all get so excited when they realize that Woody's at the window is super cute.
It is cute. Like, even though they were mad at him, they're still friends. So like when they hear like he's okay, they're like, "Oh, great, let's go save him." Like everybody was on board until Mr. Potato Head said something.
Well, yeah, and those were like Slinky, Rex, and Bo were kind of the three. I mean, Rex didn't really want to be on either side, but they were at least Slinky and Bo were kind of the ones who were like, when everyone else was accusing him of murder and threatening to hang him, they were the ones who were like defending him.
Right, yeah. And that's like I feel like those are maybe like his closest friends. Like out of all the toys, those are probably the three that he talks to the most.
I mean, I would hope he talks to his girlfriend a lot.
I should hope so too. I hope he's not just like once a week, "Oh, hey, Bo."
Especially since they live in the same bedroom.
I know. I would be so offended, like, if he just saw her and walked the other way. Just ghosting her in Andy's room.
Gosh. But Slinky like perks up and starts wagging his tail.
Slinky's too wholesome.
I know it in the next clip, when Woody brings out Buzz's arm, the way Slinky like just perks up and again gets so excited. But it's just so funny.
Yeah. He's stereotypical dog.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, it's my person.
I know. Our dogs do that too. We could go outside for like 5 minutes and then come back in and they're tap dancing, they're wagging their whole body. And we're like, we were just outside for 5 minutes. They're like, I know, but you were gone.
It's funny, but it's also, I guess, kind of sad the way um, Buzz like makes his arm crash almost like, he did when he tried to fly.
That's sad. He's
It's like he's
coping.
playing out what happened to him.
That's a very bad coping mechanism. Poor Buzz.
I know. This is like way past where we're at right now, but in fact, it's the very beginning of the clip. But I wanted to talk about Hannah's outfit because she dresses exactly the way I did at around her age, like probably like 8 or 9.
Yeah, me too. That was like the height of that fashion, and we were all subjected to it as children.
Well, I was that age around like 2004, 2005, and 10 years later, and I was still dressing like that.
Yeah, and it's funny because, I was just at Old Navy today and I was looking at stuff for my niece and they still have stuff like that. Like all the little leggings they had like little short leggings
Little like
and they look like that.
the shorts with flowers, like she's got the pink shirt with a flower on it, like the white tennis shoes and pink socks that are all the way. They're not rolled
Like
down; they're
crew
like all the
socks,
way up.
yeah. And it never failed. They were always like the frilly socks too. Like I had half of my wardrobe was just frilly socks. I'm like, why do I have all these socks? They're horrible.
Hers aren't frilly, but she's still wearing them all the way up.
Yeah.
But I feel like just that, everything has a flower on it. It's like peak, 8 to 10-year-old girl fashion for like around that time and later when I was that age.
Yeah, it was something that like from the early 90s all the way to about like I'd say about 2007 was when I saw it like kind of starting to slow down, but
Mhm.
everything had like not so much flower power, but everybody was like, "Oh yeah, flowers for little girls because they need flowers."
Yeah, everything had flowers on it. Everything was like pink, purple, and blue.
Yes, and you know what? I love all three of those colors still.
And then right after that, the first time I watched this clip, I happened to pause like right as Woody was running into the bedroom, and it looks like he was doing some kind of long jump. Like his legs are so just in complete opposite directions of each other, and he's like in midair. And
I
I'm like, is
love the
this the
fluidity of
Olympics?
him. He's so fluid and floppy. Like he defies the laws of physics.
He just kind of bounces when he runs almost.
He does. He really does. I love it.
And his legs and arms just flail everywhere. Like her
Whoever
rag doll.
Yeah, whoever decided to make the ragdoll as squiggly as possible, thank you, because that is like one of the best attributes of Toy Story is just how floppy Woody is.
Mhm. It's so great.
It really is. I love it.
What was one of the other things we were gonna talk about?
Oh gosh, what were we going to talk about? Oh, Buzz being atmosphere drunk.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, we kind of mentioned it before.
I feel like with the whole trauma that he just went through, and like I was explaining while we had it paused, like when you go to concerts and people are like a little bit tipsy, but because of the whole atmosphere and the environment, they start acting way more drunk than what they actually are. That's what being atmosphere drunk is. And I hate sitting next to those people. Those people are the worst people to sit next to.
And then I was thinking too, like, maybe just Sid Hannah playing with him, like, playing as a tea party, got him that kinda got him in that mindset like you're talking about, but, like, it's just tea. I mean, it's imaginary tea, but it's just tea.
It's not even like liquid in there. It's just pretend. Hypothetical tea.
And none of the other none of the other headless dolls are acting weird.
I mean, they don't have a mouth to drink with, so they're not
That's
really
true.
drinking. But
Yeah.
even then, like you said earlier, Buzz's helmet is closed, so he's not even drinking anything either.
Yeah. I think it's just to be funny, but even, like, what he plays in or not really plays I guess he's what am I trying to say? Woody is like, "Here, live." He treats Buzz the way you, like, treat the way you, like, help a drunk person, you know?
Yeah.
He, like, helps him up, tries to, like, walk with him. He's like, "I think you've had enough tea for today."
Oh my gosh. I feel like Woody is I know the meme wasn't around at that time, but the one where it's the old person saying like back in my day we would do this and that, and it's a grandkid like sure grandpa, whatever.
Just the way he's holding him up.
Yes, he's treating him like a psychiatric patient or something.
While Buzz is just rambling on about being Mrs. Nesbit.
Yes, oh my gosh. I
He's just
that
like, "Sure, whatever." Well, I mean, before he tells him to snap out of it.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably be feeling the same way if I had just fallen down a stairwell and got stepped on and dressed up and now I'm at a tea party.
Tim Allen's performance is really great too. I mean, it's probably not too much of a stretch to say that he was drawing on personal experience.
He probably was. I would not doubt it at all. He's a pretty wild character. I love Tim Allen.
Mhm. Well, do you have anything else to say?
I really don't.
I don't think I do either, so we can just end it here.
Alrighty.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Be sure to follow our Facebook and Twitter accounts and send us an email if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns. And if you enjoy the podcast, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.